So we're here in Chichester Harbour in what is a relatively recent Pacific Oyster reef. So this isn't a native species. They were actually brought over a few decades ago when the native oyster fishery collapsed. It was basically to bulk up that, and it was done under the impression that the waters were too cold and they're not the right conditions for them to reproduce. That's obviously not the case, and now they are doing really well in many areas around the UK, particularly on the south coast when we're seeing those warmer waters. Particularly around 2018 we had a really hot flat summer. After that they kind of exploded, and find them all around Chichester Harbour, the rest of the Solent as well. So the Pacific oyster is typically an intertidal species, so this area will be flooded at high tide and then exposed at low water. Historically we would have found native oysters there as well, but we tend to find them now subtidally, and it's a really interesting dilemma because we're not going to get rid of these oysters. They're not going anywhere. They are here to stay, and they do provide some similar ecosystem services, so they will filter the water. They're extremely efficient at that. They provide all sorts of habitat. You can see a number of different species. We've got limpets, barnacles, periwinkles, and all of this interstitial space as well. And actually, really interestingly, there's an oyster drill, juvenile oyster drill there. So they do provide a habitat for other species, but not in that subtidal, constantly submerged environment, which is why we're restoring the native oysters, is they typically do well in those environments. And loads of other mobile species require that habitat, and all of the prey species that live within those kind of spaces, for the connection across the Solent and their whole environment really.